From here, I'm going to enter in my teacher objectives for my first lesson. So I click on teacher objective, and I'm going to enter them in a notes section. By clicking on the notes icon on the toolbar, a small window pops up that looks like a notepad, and in here we can enter our teacher objectives. Once we have the objectives entered, clicking the small X will close that note off. To bring it up again, you simply have to click the quick control show note up in the top right hand corner of that object. I'll now enter my student objectives as well. I can close off that. Under methods, I'm going to use stations. Common essential learnings. Independent learning. I'll enter my materials list as well. And now it's time to enter my actual activity. And my activity has 6 sections to it, so I'm going to actually not put those in a note. I'm going to create 6 bubbles using rapid fire. I have a motivational set, a warm-up, throwing and catching, kicking and receiving with the feet, sending and receiving with an implement, and a cool down and recap. Now these obviously have created quite a mess in my diagram, but I'm going to click on the activity bubble, click on arrange. I'm going to create a standard down tree. This time I'm going to turn off the checkbox entire diagram. When I click OK, it's going to let me know that this operation will cause some symbols to overlap. I'm going to let them overlap, and then I'm going to hold down my shift key and click on all the symbols that are part of that group. And I'm going to raise those symbols up to make room. I'm also going to change all of the parts of the activity to brown as well. Again, my icons are out of order, so I'm going to rearrange those very quickly. Once I have them in close to the correct order and spacing, I'll click on activity, arrange, standard down without the entire diagram, and it cleans it up quite nicely. I'll now enter into each of these the activity. And now I have all of my parts of the activity in there. The only one left is to add my evaluation. In my evaluation, I reference a checklist file that I want to hyperlink to. So I'm going to highlight the word GLSP checklist, click on the hyperlink button. I'm going to hyperlink to a file, and I'm going to click select file, go to my documents, find the file, and click open. Then click OK. And now it becomes hyperlinked text from which I can launch that checklist file. Now that I've closed that checklist file, I can close my note. I'm going to save my file to ensure that I don't lose what I have created. And I have my first lesson completely planned out. I'll now do that for the rest of my lessons. I have filled in the first 3 lessons activities and all the notes to go with it. I would like to show you at this point a nice feature with the spell checker. Simply go to Tools and Spell Check, and it will check through all the notes, all the different parts of the diagram to find any misspelled words, and you can simply change anything that is spelled wrong. When you've completed spell checking in your document, make sure you save it. And then click on the outline button. Inspiration very quickly changes your diagram into a nice outline listing all of the activities in order. I'm going to scroll back up to the top. You may at some point find that some of the parts of your unit plan are not in the correct order. That's easy enough to switch around. You'll notice some quick controls on the left hand side of the screen to hide subtopics. So I'm going to first of all hide the subtopics of my 3 major areas and make sure, yeah, they are in the order that I want them. If for some reason I wanted receiving above sending, I'd simply grab in the gray or the empty box beside, drag that up, let go, and it has been moved over. I will go edit undo to change that back. Now I'm going to check each sub area. In here we have only one lesson, determining students' general level of skill proficiency. We have teacher objectives, student objectives, methods, cells, materials, activities, and evaluation. And in activities we have a motivational set, a warm-up, throwing and catching, kicking with the and receiving with the feet, sending and receiving with an implement, and cool down and recap. So that section is in the correct order. I'll check the rest of these to make sure that they are in the right order. I see here under sending in the first lesson of throwing, starts out with materials, then student objectives, etc. These are not in the correct order. So again, I'm going to find my first part, which is here, teacher objectives. Simply going to grab it and drag it up. To the correct spot, and having difficulty with that. There we go. There, scroll up a bit farther, and it's in the right spot. And again, move student objective next. You'll notice it renumbers them in the correct numerical order. Next should be methods. If you may notice that if you let go of it in the wrong spot, for instance, if I were to take my materials and I let go of it down here, it actually will move it over one level. If that does happen to you, simply go Edit, Undo, and try again. You'll notice the red dots will show you which level it will appear in. And I believe I have everything in the correct order again for throwing. Again,